That's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Very excited you can be joining us tonight to talk some more golf and a very sort of, I don't know if it's unprecedented, but a very strange turn of events on the PGA Tour. We're excited to dive into it with everybody tonight. But as always, we can't go too much longer without welcoming the new club champion of Overlook Golf Course, Mr. Chris Fairbanks. Banksy, congratulations, from the people. But I think I asked you this before. I wish you'd gotten like a parking spot or something so I could roll up with you into the champion's parking spot. But you get your name on the wall at least, right?
Name's on the wall, baby.
Forever and always.
Oh, forever and always. Yep.
Is that the first time? Or did you win it last year too?
Yeah, no. I was defeated last year. So I came back with a vengeance.
That a
this
boy.
year. Yeah. So yeah, it's a nice little way to kind of end the tournament season. So
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We'll save the
Appreciate it.
story of your, pre-championship round for another day, maybe. But
Oh my gosh, that's a good story, and it'll definitely be told. And I guarantee you, anybody that's listening to this that think they have any idea what the story is,
you don't. You don't. We're gonna save that for
you
one of those.
don't.
For one of those off weeks where we talk. We just bring up different topics. So stay tuned for that one.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not sure I believe it, and I just heard the story like literally 5 minutes ago.
You got the nutshell version.
Right. I can't wait to hear the long version. It's gonna be great. All right. So we are in the I guess right in the middle of the FedEx Cup Playoffs. Right. 2 more events left. Or 3 more.
3. Yeah.
Let's check how many are left.
Last week was the first one, and
I always think the Wyndham is part of it, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we're right. BMW and then Tour Championship, 2 left. The Wyndham is a part of it. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, the Wyndham.
Yeah, there's
And
only
then the
3
FedEx.
total.
No, and then the FedEx St. Jude, and now the BMW.
Well,
There's only 3 playoff events. Yeah, and then the Tour Championship.
Oh, okay. So there's 4 total.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Whew. Boy. Off to a shaky start
We
here.
almost confused ourselves. That's okay though. People are here for the banter, not the official, rankings or anything like that. But anyway, last week, our boy Willie
Oh.
pulls
coming
out a
through.
strange one.
Yeah.
So I guess it all kind of starts with, it finally comes out, or somebody says that Cam Smith is signed to Live Golf for $100 million.
Yep.
I think no less than an hour later, he's in a press conference at the FedEx St. Jude and basically doesn't confirm or deny. He just says, I'm here to play golf. I'm here to win. We'll worry about that some other time.
I'm here to see if I can pocket an extra $20 million before I
Right.
head
Well,
out.
if he leaves before the Tour Championship, he doesn't get it. He didn't play. He's not playing in the BMW because of hip discomfort.
Yeah.
It's from his pockets being too heavy. His hips are out of whack.
Yeah, man. I hate when that happens. Don't carry too many T's in your pockets.
Seriously.
Folks.
Don't, be careful out there. Just be
Screw you
careful
up.
out there. So he plays really well despite all the stuff that happened beforehand.
Yeah.
Then is assessed a 2-shot penalty going into Sunday for something that happens on Saturday. And I guess I didn't even read that much about it because I just didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know. He placed his
Bad drop or placed his
Ball
ball
or
in a hazard
something.
or something
Yeah.
when he shouldn't have. Something happened.
Yeah, Patrick Reed would have got away with that, but
who is now
can't.
who is now suing Golf Channel
Yeah.
for defamation.
Yeah, Brandon Chambly versus
Yeah.
Patrick Reed going down.
A barn burner of a lawsuit if we ever saw one.
Yeah.
Good God. So that leads to him kind of falling out of contention. And then our boy Will makes it to another playoff. He just can't seem to win these things outright. He always has to make it really difficult. And then somehow gets a ball to stop in between a rock and air, it seems like.
A hard place.
Yeah. Just how the ball doesn't go into the water, I don't think anyone will understand.
Yeah.
Somehow stops enough to give him a shot and wins the third hole of the playoff.
Well, he thought about, there was a good portion of time there where he was seriously contemplating hitting the ball.
Yeah.
And between the rocks and the grass.
Yep.
Of the front, which would have been absolutely horrendous mistake.
Yeah.
Especially because your playing competitor hit it in the water.
Right. He literally dunked it.
So, I don't know if it was just for, fan excitement that Will's up there walking the rock wall.
Yeah, right.
Taking practice strokes, but it's like no chance ever.
Right.
that ball doesn't get plugged into the grass or pops back into the water.
Or he just misses it. Like he hits the rock first and then the club bounces over top of it or
yeah. But and even before that, Straka, that those decisions and that play that he made almost brings those guys back down to such a humanistic level.
Yeah.
Like you see Will hit it in an impossible spot, and instead of playing for the center of the green, Straka fans one out into the water.
So you think do you think that's because he's pin seeker, or did the moment just get to him and he just hit a bad shot?
But that's why you're there with your caddy, and that's why you're there to talk through those situations. He's trying to hole out on the third playoff hole when it's like, dude, you literally need to hit that in the center of the green, on the left side of the green, as far away from the water as possible, and two putt and win the tournament. And
you don't lose the tournament from over there.
that stuff, that kind of stuff, just blows my mind because you're a professional and you have a caddy that hopefully was like, dude, middle of the green.
Yeah, right.
Middle of the green.
That's where you kind of have to think that that's what was said. And then he just hit a bad shot. He just fanned it.
Just fanned it. Yeah, he was hitting those draws with that 3-wood off those previous two playoff holes and hit little baby draws into the green, the previous two playoff holes. So I don't know, maybe you step up to the tee and you're just think you're locked in where it's just going to be again a nice little draw and you just happen to fan it out. I don't know, but that's just.
I don't doubt he was maybe trying to play a draw that starts at the pin and draws to the left side.
Yeah.
But just fanned it and it just stayed out there.
That has to just be such a frustrating mental mistake.
Yeah.
That's just such such an error for a professional golfer to do. And Straka came in plus 40 his last however many rounds.
Right.
He missed his last 6 cuts.
Yeah.
With a combined score of plus 40.
Yeah. Now chance of a lifetime.
And now you have your opportunity to win it with a seemingly mid-iron into the center of a green, and whatever. It was a neat playoff. It was exciting. Happy for Will. I guess he changed his putting stroke a little bit. The short putts are still messed up. We're still figurating.
I think it does something to him. I think it helps him. It's just the way he's figured out to take all that tension off.
So, what sucks for Will's caddy fired his caddy in the middle of the round last tournament. So there goes a 10% check to that caddy.
Yeah, he just missed out on like what, 200 grand or something.
Yeah, a lot of money. Yeah. So
yeah, that's tough.
But yeah, moving forward again, I hope these last couple events, again, we talk about this all the time. All of a sudden, Rory missed the cut. Scheffler missed the cut. Who else missed? Somebody else missed the cut. Somebody else important missed the cut. And it's just like this. That's the shit that drives me nuts. Like, this is your season end playoffs. And I get it. You have enough points to move through the next round. But, like, don't miss the cut, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so Jordan Spieth, Webb Simpson. Trying to look at who else here.
Oh, okay. So
Hadley.
That doesn't matter. But
Billy Horschel, Scheffler.
Spieth, Scheffler, and Rory.
Yeah.
Missing the cut. Unacceptable.
I don't know if we can expect this anymore.
I know we can't. We set ourselves up for disappointment. Because,
right.
But, I mean, this is your playoffs. You can't miss the cut.
I mean, they literally didn't play the week before. They all took the week off.
Yeah, right. So
it's like, how could you expect to come in? And didn't even Rory say that he didn't touch a club?
yeah, and they say they say that no, so nonchalant, right? Like what other professional athlete going into playoffs? Like, yeah, I didn't practice.
Yeah, during the season.
Yeah, like think about it, an NBA team or a baseball team getting ready for playoffs or an NFL team, and 2 weeks before your playoff game, you're like, I'll figure it out.
I haven't touched a bat in 2 weeks. It'll be fine.
Like, I think that's bad for the game. I think that sets a bad precedent.
It is. You're right. It is the only sport where we accept, oh, I didn't touch a golf club, and that's supposed to be some sort of like recentering or repurposing of a guy's mental status.
Right, and especially with the tour, having to fight some of this live golf stuff where you guys are supposed to be showing why this tour is so much more important and so much better than this live golf. But then you do things like that to make it not look that important or that serious. Where you come into a tournament, play like shit, miss the cut, and then laugh it off. I haven't touched the club in however many weeks.
Yeah, 3.5 weeks.
We'll see what happens next week. I think that's bullshit.
It is funny when you think about it that it really is the only sport that's an acceptable answer to someone going into what's supposed to be an important time in your season. We can't argue it's the most important because the majors are the most important. And maybe that's why it's accepted, is because these playoffs really are still not considered that.
Right.
And until maybe they make the FedEx Cup like $40 million, they clearly haven't reached a number that causes guys like that to practice enough.
Yeah, you can blow off 20 million.
Apparently.
That's I don't agree with that. I'll never agree with it. And I hate I hate when those guys give interviews and statements and shit where they're like, "Yeah, I don't practice that much," or "I haven't touched the club," or "Oh, I missed the cut. You know, we'll see what happens next week." Like, it's one thing to do that in like January or February.
Yeah, when you're
in,
literally coming off an off season.
or even like in October. But now here you have a rival league trying to jack all your players and you know, take all your top players away from you. And those guys that still remain on the PGA Tour to make that seemingly, this is why this tour is the best. This is why we play. We play to win. We play, you know, for the competition. It means something. And then you roll into the playoffs saying I haven't touched the club. You know, think about and I'll throw in Allen Iverson. Think about the heat and all the shit Allen Iverson took for missing a practice to let his body heal for a day.
Yeah.
During that playoff run, one of the playoff runs they had. And yet you can have these top tiered PGA Tour players. I didn't practice. I haven't touched the club. I hate it.
I mean, it's the problem that they're fighting. It's that the PGA Tour has failed to make these tournaments important enough for these guys. And I know that's what they're now sort of trying to fix, and we'll get into a little bit of that in what we talk about next. But
and that's you hate that things have to be motivated so much by money to get these guys to take it seriously.
yeah, well, outside of a major, yeah.
And we're still talking about we're talking about $20 million though. You know, what piques their interest to be like, I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna just win this, like I want to win this thing.
You would think it would be competitiveness, but it's obviously not that.
Yeah. So that was a tangent that kind of came out of nowhere, but now I'm pissed. Now I'm fired up.
Good. I love it. I don't think you or I will ever have a good answer to this because our idol didn't do this stuff. He holds the record for most consecutive cuts made. He's fought through a leg that doesn't work.
Yeah, he's still trying to play on one leg.
And has played on a broken leg and back problems and all those things. And his mentality was to never go out there and miss a cut. That was an unacceptable proposition. And it might be even stranger because we know these guys grew up watching Tiger and idolizing him.
Right.
But they missed out. They somehow have passed over that part of what made Tiger unbelievable.
Yeah.
They tried to emulate his swing. They tried to emulate how he looked, how he dressed, how he walked.
Yep.
You know, his celebrations.
Yeah, but then it comes to put it in the work, and like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on here a second.
Yeah. And I don't know what, I mean, look, I think you can just keep going back to, they make so much money now. And
off the golf course.
Yeah, but here's where we know Tiger Woods is a once in a generation guy. Tiger made more money than anybody off the golf course in his prime and continues to. Right? The first $100 million athlete, the first billionaire athlete, all those things were Tiger because he was making so much money off the golf course. And he still had that mentality. He still had that work ethic.
Yeah. And if he was healthy, he'd be trying to kick everyone's ass right now. Not missing cuts.
Yeah, because he went and took 4 weeks off during the season.
Yeah, leading into the playoffs. Stupid.
Yeah, it's not something we'll ever. It's not something you or I will ever be able to reckon with, you know, or figure out. It just comes down to that of all the things they tried to pick up from Tiger Woods, they didn't pick that up. They didn't
Right.
retain that part.
Yeah, that's
And it just is what it is. It's a shame because, like you said, when we talk about the product that needs to be put out there for now to combat whatever is happening over in Live Land, you're right. You're trying to show that this is the competition tour. This is why you joined this tour, because you love competing and you want your wins to mean something.
right. You want your name on trophies. You want, we play for the competition, blah, blah, blah.
Right. We earned our money over here.
And now I'm going to go out and miss a cut and probably not win the highest purse of our entire season because you just don't care enough. You don't care enough. I mean, to come out and be that rusty and miss the cut. I mean, it just shows the lack of commitment on a tour where the guys that are still there are preaching about how much they're there for the competition and winning trophies.
Well, let's what do we think this does for Will? Do we think this was what he needed to get over the hump? Let's just talk about in majors. He's been so close in his short time in majors. He had yet to win anything on the PGA Tour. I can't even remember the last time he was kind of in the top 5 of a regular PGA Tour event.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So it's not even like he's sort of been lighting up the leaderboards at regular PGA Tour stops.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say the reason for that is, his skills shine on the hardest golf courses, not on these ho-hum, run-of-the-mill every week PGA Tour golf courses.
Right. When it comes down to a putting contest.
Right. He's not. But when
he's
it's
still,
a ball striking contest,
right,
he can make up for the putting or lack thereof.
I mean, I guess that's a good problem to have. I mean, you'd rather be known as a tough golf course player than I guess a mediocre golf course player. Yeah. But when it's just those tournaments where you have to go 20, 25 under. I mean he'll make a ton of birdies.
Yeah.
But he'll also miss short ones that'll probably keep him out of contention by 1, 2, 3 shots. And if you go back and look at his round or his week, like, well, he missed a 3-footer here, he missed a 6-footer there.
Yeah.
Lipped out a 4-footer on this hole. And he's okay, like just not overthinking things too much, and you always wonder where it's at. It's such a strange thing when caddies get fired, and especially when they get fired like mid-tournament
on Friday on Friday night.
Yeah, like it's what kind of crisis situation is going down in this new caddy. Is this the full-time caddy, or is there going to be a process to find a new one? And what does that process look like? And how much time does it take to? Because I do think Will is somewhat of a Spieth mentality, maybe, where it's very like I think he talks a lot. I think he's got a million things going through his head when he's playing golf. That's just my perception.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do change from a caddy and you go through that whole process of getting a new caddy and building that relationship, that could take some time and could affect your game a little bit. And then you have the situations like he's very, very, very lucky to have won that golf tournament.
Yeah.
Like really lucky. The Straka hits a 7-iron in the middle of that green, tournament's over.
I mean, he finally had someone mess up in a playoff.
Yeah,
he's just been losing to guys who have just made zero mistakes in playoffs.
Yeah,
he just has continued to lose to him.
Right. So, does this carry him momentum-wise? I have no idea. And we're such a long way to April.
Yeah.
April. But we're such a long way to April. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what his game's going to look like in April? It'll be interesting to see where he's at the rest. And listen, if these other guys don't, give a shit and play like crap, it's going to be anybody's. It's going to be up for grabs for anybody. Scheffler, if he continues to miss cuts or not play well, and Rory's off in Rory land, doing who knows what. Justin Thomas has not done a damn thing since that PGA win. Spieth's been a nightmare to watch.
Yeah.
And then some of these other Finau's hot. He had 2 back-to-back wins and finished well this last tournament. So there's just so many things could happen these next couple weeks, and I don't know if this necessarily propels Will to that $20 million prize.
I'd give him a better shot at winning these next 2 weeks than like the Masters, like you said. I don't know if it carries all the way to April, but it could carry for the next few weeks.
Right. I mean, this time is this playoff run here. It's all about who's hot for those couple weeks. I mean, again, like we saw Cantlay look like the best freaking golfer we've ever seen in our lives last year, to doing absolutely nothing all season. Like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how up and down these guys are. But having said that, everything I say, it usually ends up being the opposite. So
so bet Will for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So if you have a few extra bucks, throw it down on Will, because what the hell do I know?
Yeah, usually when you bet against us, you win. So just go with that until it stops working. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who does step up in the next 2 weeks. Again, it's like you said, there's no big names that are playing really well, so you can't really put your cart behind any of those guys. It really is a crapshoot. Like you said, Straka comes out of missing 6 cuts or something, and all of a sudden gets a runner-up in a playoff. It just makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to golf nowadays. You just have to kind of close your eyes and point at the list of guys, and you'll probably get lucky every once in a while on who's going to win.
Yeah.
So we'll tune in next week to the BMW. Well, it starts tomorrow, so not next week, but starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
See how it goes again. The big names are back playing again, so we'll see if they can finally put something together after maybe practicing this week or not. We'll see how it goes.
Probably, I'll roll a few putts in my hotel room.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get an update on.
Time.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get an update on how many range sessions Rory and JT decide to get in before the next one. But the other big thing that happened in the world of golf this past week is this players only meeting that happened on the PGA Tour. And you might think to yourself, why is that such a big deal? They have these every so often. The the big deal this time is that the cat made an exclusive trip up to this one. And apparently, of course, when Tiger is about to do something, you get the private jet watch. When he leaves, when he lands. Someone's snapping pictures of him getting off the plane, so everyone knows what he's wearing. But
yeah. Speaking of that, it looks like jeans and a flannel button down. Like, where is this meeting held?
Tiger's never been fashionable off the golf course.
I mean, it's still summer, right? Like, it's hot outside. And
he's been cryo cooling down in Florida, so his bones are chilly.
He's chilled to the bone.
Yep.
I'm like,
he's like Mr. Freeze in Batman. He goes into the capsule.
Yeah. Like, do you have a thermal button down on, Tiger?
He's been frozen.
It's sheep's wool.
Yeah, he's been frozen to the bone to try and recover faster.
Yeah. How the hell did Ricky get on that plane?
Sometimes it's who you know. Sometimes it's who you know. And the reason that's a big deal is because Tiger doesn't attend many of these things. He hasn't ever had really the need to, because for the past very many years, what happens on the PGA Tour really doesn't affect him. He can go wherever he wants. He doesn't need to worry about how much money guys are making on the tour. It just these kind of things haven't pertained to him. And so he doesn't show up because he's Tiger Woods and he doesn't have to. But apparently what was discussed is sort of the future of the PGA Tour and how they're going to combat this, live, and more guys that will inevitably start going over there because of the paychecks. And so here's the interesting things that I think we can talk about. One, no one is talking about what they talked about. Usually someone comes out of those meetings and has a journalist friend, or, they have one or two drinks with a journalist and they spill some beans about something. The players came out of this, and I think in a quote that Xander had, he was like, I think everyone would be pretty pissed if someone had come out to you guys after this and started blabbing. So they're being very tight-lipped about what was discussed. And the second thing is that Tiger not just was a presence there, but seemed to get up and speak his mind as to what he thinks needs to change or what his opinions are moving forward about the tour. And it just continues. I think it continues to show that no one in golf carries more clout than Tiger Woods.
Nor should they.
No, they shouldn't. But you read some of the articles about these guys. When they talk, it's almost like Jesus himself got up on the podium, and there was a big light behind him when he got up there, and you heard the angel music when he started talking. Which, I mean, listen, I get it. I would feel that way. But it's also a room full of pretty selfish dudes who generally only think about themselves. So it just speaks to the force that Tiger Woods continues to be, that these guys a bunch of selfish individuals, right? These guys aren't part of a team. They don't really care about the PGA Tour, probably, if you really got down to it. But Tiger Woods makes them shut up and listen and try and maybe push forward as a group to get something done. And I don't know if they're more prone to it now because of the lawsuits. And that maybe was something that sort of catalyzed or, sort of got them to come together. Was the catalyst for them to finally look at each other and be like, oh, maybe we should try and do things together and figure this out. Or if it is just, well, shit, if Tiger tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. And all of us should probably do it. I guess it doesn't really matter in the end what it is. It's one of those things where once we figure out what happened in that meeting, which eventually it'll come out and, we'll figure it out. But it's after Tiger truly is done, there will be no one who could pull these guys together like that. No one. There just won't be. And I don't know if there will be another one in our lifetime. My guess is no, but it just continues to show that there's, he's the greatest.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we've talked about it on the show before. How there's no transparency in the PGA Tour. So who knows what was said or what was discussed in that meeting. I know Monahan was there, the PGA Tour commissioner. I think this will really test his limits and what he's going to do. We'll find out how much he's liked, I think, by the players and what are going to be his responsibilities moving forward.
So that's a good point. But you know what I think? I don't think he's dumb enough to see the impact that Tiger has. And now he's just going to kind of be that. He just has to execute now. I think
right. They'll
it's sort
give
of like,
him
I have decided. Like Tiger hits the gavel. And it's like, I have decided.
Yeah. As long as Monahan can, kind of swallow his pride a little bit.
Right.
And
now
and
Jay has to go out
that.
and execute.
Like these players, if it comes down to me and Tiger, you draw a line in the sand, those players are going with the cat.
Yeah, 100%.
And, it is a little scary to me that so many guys made that live jump so quickly. I mean, we went from almost March with guys saying absolutely not, PGA, and here we are 5 months later. It's a little scary how many guys made that jump. And, will we ultimately see the effects of that in these next couple seasons? Because, I absolutely love that Tiger is kind of being that ambassador for the tour, and he's stepping up and he's coming to the plate. He's talking to these guys and being part of the process. But, his influence will always be that much greater on the course. And we're not going to have him on the course as much. Think about Michael Jordan as a co-owner of the Wizards. Nobody really gave a shit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Jordan's on the court. And it's like, oh, hell yeah. Like, we'll fill stadiums and we'll do this. And so as much as I love Tiger being that voice and in those meetings, and we can't rely on him to be on the course nearly as much, bringing that draw, bringing those people to tournaments, because he just can't. He can't do it.
Yeah.
He's old. He's old, and he's old. And he's hurt. So who are these people going to watch on the PGA Tour?
So do you think, from that standpoint of people maybe thinking about leaving, let's just talk maybe younger guys who just see the sheer numbers and think, oh, maybe I'm like 120th on the FedEx Cup list. I have my tour card. I'm making fine money, right? For a normal person, you're doing just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they're probably in the back of their mind, if Liv came to me with $10 million and I can go and shoot 8 over like Pat Perez and make $600,000, why wouldn't I go do that?
Yeah,
but maybe they go to this meeting and Tiger's up there at the podium saying, like, we're all a part of this. You guys are with me now. We're all in this together. Do you think that is enough for him to influence those types of players? To literally,
I don't know.
I can literally maybe see in someone's mind, like, man, I don't want to let Tiger down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know. That might maybe a little bit, but probably not. I mean, you've alluded to, these guys are selfish, and some of it rightfully so because they're independent contractors. They have to be somewhat selfish.
Yeah.
But I look more towards the PGA Tour. Is there going to be a plan in place where we still have to have cuts? Okay, if you don't perform, you don't get. Like I hope
There has to be cuts for them to keep their OWGR points.
there has to be cuts.
Yeah.
But if you miss a cut, are you still getting something? And again, to these guys, it's a lot more than what you and I would think. It's something, more than a $12 stipend for a Subway,
right.
a Subway sub and a bag of chips. But okay, I missed the cut, but do I get $5,000 that covers my travel expenses for that week?
Yeah.
Or do I get $10,000 to cover my expenses plus my travel to the next tournament? I don't know. Is something like that going to be in the works to combat what Liv is doing? We still have cuts, we still have the best players make it through, but I missed the weekend, but I'm not losing everything. At least I know my travel expense and my hotel is covered, and my
I can
food
pay
is
my caddy
covered.
his wage.
Yeah. So, are those more of the plans that the PGA Tour is going to look at to keep some of the keep these guys happy and keep them on the tour?
Yeah.
So, and I think the prize money is just going to continue to increase. I mean, Jay Monahan, he made $10 million this past year.
Right.
Right? I mean, nobody playing just golf, or only a hand. I don't even know what the strictly golf numbers are. These guys rarely make that much in a season playing golf. They have all their sponsors and everything from outside, but strictly playing golf. You have a Jay Monahan who's making more than every PGA Tour golfer on the tour. So you start providing some of that financial aid or support to some of those guys that are missing cuts.
There you go. I just brought up the money list for 2022. Scotty has made $13 million. Cam Smith has made 10. Will Zalatoris 9. Rory 8. Fitzpatrick's rounding up to 7. Sam Burns 7. Justin Thomas 6.5. Cantlay's made $6.6 million. That seems crazy. Xander 6.5. Cam Young 6.3. Finau 6. Hideki 5.7, Sung J M 5.3, Homa 5.1, Horschel 4.8. That's the top 15.
So only one person has made more money than
two guys.
Jay Monahan.
Cam Smith and Scotty Scheffler.
Smith, yeah. So yeah, I think the purses are going to have to continue to increase, and I don't know. Do you think that there is going to be some kind of compromise made where these live guys can come play in some PGA Tour events? And I look at it.
I think if I had to guess, that eventually they'll probably win their lawsuit.
I think so too,
but I don't think that the PGA Tour will reach a handout. I just don't. I think they're too far down the rabbit hole.
No, I do too. And it would look like they're punking out if they're just like, oh, okay, exactly. You got it. But if they work it to where it's on their terms, I don't know. I support.
Here's the
I
thing, though.
support the PGA Tour. I hate this live thing is a joke.
These live guys don't want to play in these things.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
all of them have said, I joined this to play less golf and spend more time with my family and all this BS that they gave us.
Right.
They don't they don't want to come and play like the Barracuda Championship. Like they don't want to come and play the John Deere. Like that has nothing to do with it. They only want to play in them right now because that's the only way for them to earn world ranking points. Yeah. And that's the only way that they get into majors.
Some of these tournament sponsors, big tournament sponsors, are shelling out millions and millions of dollars to help run these tournaments, and it's like, okay, who's coming? Who's gonna play this tournament? Like, I don't even know who to pick. Just pick any company that puts in millions and millions of dollars to help sponsor these tournaments, and you go back to that company and be like, hey, we got you Streb Straka as your headliner this week. Yeah,
I mean, it's a good point.
That concerns me a little bit. Like, where is all this PGA Tour money going to come from? Like, how are you going to keep increasing the purses? How are you going to be able to pay these guys more? And are all the sponsors for these tournaments going to be okay shelling out all this money for the B team?
Yeah, I don't know. The answer is in the long run, probably not. Because they aren't going to make guys play more. Like, they aren't going to force Rory and JT to go to like one-off tournament and then Spieth and Xander to go to the next one and all that kind of stuff just to give these tournaments something, to put on their billboard. Because those guys aren't going to do it. They're just not going to do it.
Right. And Tiger can't.
Right.
So now having this pool of players that had this fan base, they're gone. I mean, DJ, Brooks, even Reed,
DeChambeau, Reed, Cam Smith, those are all guys you can put on a flyer and say that they're coming to our tournament.
And you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. It's something that's not being talked about a lot, but I think you're absolutely right that it's going to come up eventually.
Well, I'm hoping I'm hoping that's what this meeting that they had is like one of many meetings, and I'm hoping that's what is being discussed. And it might not happen right away, but think 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, all these guys are at Live. What the hell are we watching the PGA Tour for? Who are we watching?
And then why are we watching Live? For them to just dick around and play for nothing and
right. The live tournament or league or whatever the hell they want is a joke.
Yeah. You're not going to turn on golf until it's a major.
And the PGA Tour could be obsolete or not, of no interest because who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, I mean I think that's the ultimate worry of every golf fan is that they're just going to dilute each other so much that you end up with nothing. You end up with two parts that don't equal anything. It's
a little scary to think about.
Yeah, I think it's been the key, like the scariest thing that people can think of since this started. Is that you're just going to dilute the water so much that neither thing is going to be good to watch. Like, so what? I'm going to go watch Live just because Rory McIlroy is playing? Like, no thanks.
Yeah,
like, what do I want to watch him play a Pro-Am for and not care and tell me that he didn't practice for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And like, and you're still going to see like some random guy win because they're going to be the only ones actually grinding.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just going to see Rory and DJ shoot 3 over for a tournament. And like, okay, cool. That was great. Saw a lot of great golf shots from these Asian tour guys who I've never heard of before.
It's like, yay, Charles Schwartzel.
Yeah, right.
Good.
Brandon
good
Grace.
Job.
Woohoo.
Good job. Charles Schwartzel, you signed my hat.
Been waiting for Brandon Grace to win a tournament here.
Yeah.
Been dying for it.
You've my favorite player forever.
Yeah, right. Oh, good. Donald Trump's there again. Fantastic.
Yeah, having a rally off the 19th hole.
Glad him and Don Jr. got a good pro-am round in. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad if it gets to that point. But
yeah,
we got a couple more weeks of this FedEx Cup playoffs. I'm sure more information will come out about the players only meeting. I'm sure things will come out about what Tiger Woods said. Hey, cool thing though, Tiger Woods being the cover man for 2K 23, the golf, the video game. I might dive back into it.
Hell yeah.
I might have to dive back into it. If Tiger's getting some more influence over it, be great.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even been in the last couple, has he?
He's been hurt.
No, I just mean in the video game.
Yeah,
in the video game, it goes, you can't pick me. I'm in the hospital. You can't pick Tiger Woods.
I'm hurt. Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. I mean, but again, if you get to play as Tiger Woods, that was the best part of all those old games, is that you could jump into a tournament or you could play the Masters as Tiger Woods.
You could be
with that old school, beautiful 2000 swing.
Yeah. The funny takeaway from the day is, I'm sure you've seen this, as he's getting off the jet and getting in the car, and it's like, Ricky, how are you letting Tiger drive right now? Like,
listen,
put him in the back seat.
We've been saying this for a long time. Tiger Woods should have a permanent driver.
100%.
We've talked about this several times on the podcast, but we'll say it again. All he has to do, what do you have to pay a guy? 70 grand a year? Put him up in your guest house? One of several that I'm sure you have. And he is just on call 24/7. Hey,
Tiger,
drive me to this place and wait in the parking lot until I'm done. Hey, we're getting on the plane. When we get to the other airport, there will be a car waiting. Open the door for me and drive me to where I need to go.
Tiger's driving.
He's got an NDA signed. He can't speak about what he hears, what he sees. Like, it's as simple as that. Done. Tiger, Banksy and I will split it. We'll each take half a year. Fly us down to Jupiter. We'll sleep in the guest house. We'll be on call 24/7. Drive you wherever you need to go, and we will never speak of it.
100%. 100%. But yep, he's behind the wheel.
Oh God. Yeah, someone has to. Yeah, he needs a buddy who's going to tell him to stop. Somebody needs to tell him to stop doing that. But we'll see what comes out about that players only meeting. We'll see who wins these next couple weeks. We'll be back next week to talk about the BMW and preview the Tour Championship. Talk about anything else that comes out from that players only meeting, or see if someone else signs to live, because I'm sure someone else will in the next few weeks. So plenty to talk about in the world of golf. We hope that you enjoyed the episode tonight. Please keep tuning in. Please hit that little subscribe button under the YouTube video. It is free. We are on our way to 25 subscribers, almost there. I need 4 more. So if you are willing to click that subscribe button, we appreciate it. Follow the podcast, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, anywhere that you get your podcast. Just search the Two Way Miss and we will be there. As always, a huge thanks to the good buddy Banksy, and we will catch everyone next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Absolutely. Quick shout out. Happy birthday, Papa Banks.
Yeah, Papa Banks.
Swing hard, everyone.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.